foreign exchange club.
We understand, our feelings are not hurt at all.
With everyone's introductions here and what the club's been doing with the community, it seems like a really great club, and I'm really interested. As far as community service goes, Ms. Thetford did her homework pretty well, but I've actually only submitted 245 community service hours. I've actually probably got closer to 600. I've been pretty much the varsity golf coach at Eliza Jackson Preparatory School for the past 4 years, starting freshman year. And as golf coach, I basically do everything a high school coach would. I organize the schedule, I get all the players ready, I coach them. A lot of the other, or at least when I was in middle school, the coaches, they didn't really teach you golf, they just basically chaperoned you and made sure you didn't get into trouble. I make sure I take the time to actually try to instruct them to get better at golf, which is interesting because they are middle schoolers. Sometimes they'll tell them to do one thing and they'll do it for a second and then they won't do it a minute later, but it's very fun and I really enjoy coaching them. The summer, becoming a senior, I guess as a rising senior, I went to Bowie State, which was sponsored by the Florida American Legion. That experience was really cool. At Bowie State, there was probably about 400 kids there from high schools across Florida, all the way down in Key West. And we created our own 51st fictional state, and we set up our own government for that state. I was elected to the House of Representatives there, and we basically held a House of Representatives meeting in the Florida House of Representatives chambers, which was really cool. We got to use their actually sit where the representatives sit and use their PA system and stuff, which was really cool. As far as the biggest things in my life right now, probably have been golf. I've been golfing ever since I was 4 years old. My dad took me out there with him, and he let me use his clubs, which were probably about as big as I were, so it was pretty fun. I've golfed pretty much ever since then, almost, probably on average 5 days a week. Especially when in high school, I started in the summer. If I wasn't at home, I was at the golf course. At my junior year, at the high school golf tournament at Fort Walton, the Miracle Strip Classic, I shot a 68, which was the low medalist for that tournament. One of my proudest achievements.
I would think so.
What weight did you wrestle?
I actually wrestled 160 sophomore year and 172 last year.
That's cool. Wrestling has always been a really fun sport to me because I wrestle 152. Because I've done taekwondo and jiu-jitsu for pretty much as long as I've been golfing, since I was about 4. And I thought that jiu-jitsu would help me in wrestling because I thought it'd be pretty similar, but wrestling is a sport all of its own. It's very physically demanding. It got me in the best shape of my life, I'm sure. Like as you were saying, it helped you out with your military physical fitness stuff. It really helps discipline and just controlling your body and understanding weight especially. I probably actually weighed closer to 165, and I wanted to cut down a little bit just so I could be more trim, a little more lean, and better wrestling. And dieting like that does require a lot of mental discipline.
Okay, we all know that. We wanted something.
Spencer, ATA, the taekwondo.
Excuse me? Well, depending on the finances, I'll probably either go to the University of Central Florida or the University of Florida to study mechanical engineering.
Those the two that you've applied for?
I've applied to those 2 colleges as well as Florida State University, Colorado School of Mines, Spring Hill College, and Auburn.
Oh, no. Are
We
you,
all have our opinion, but we would never say anything about our opinions. We all have an opinion if you want to hear it.
are you a black belt?
Yes, ma'am. In Taekwondo, you usually, if you train regularly, about 2 years into your training, you'll be able to test for your black belt. And I started Taekwondo when I was about 4, and when you're that young, they usually make you wait a little bit longer. It was about 4 years before I could test for my black belt. But that was quite a long time ago, because I'm 17 now. I've actually been a 3rd degree black belt. Once you test for your black belt, you train 2 more years, you can test for your 2nd degree black belt. 3 more years, you can test for your 3rd degree black belt. I've been a 3rd degree black belt for the past 6 years, and they make you wait to test for your 4th degree until you're 18, just because 4th degree is a leadership rank, and they want an older individual at that rank. But since I've been a 3rd degree for so long, I actually made up a new rank in the system for me. They called it the senior 3rd degree.
What rank do you become a murder weapon?
Well, the name of the 4th degree form is actually warrior.
I'm not messing with you.
So you're going to college for?
Mechanical engineering.
As you all can see, we have some
Wow.
amazing people.
We charge senior citizens for golf lessons.
I've actually never charged for a lesson. I usually
That's great.
coach.
I'll see you after the meeting.
You started
charging.
What about Reed? Tell them about Reed. Your experience with Reed.
Mr. Chief, I don't know what's his name.
Sorio.
Mr. Soria. He was establishing a STEM school in, where was it? Valparaiso. And I volunteered over the summer to help set up that school.
Oh, boy, I know what you did then. That's a lot of work there.
Yes, sir. And
Technology and stuff.
his son, Reed, is a little
He has been-
mildly autistic.
Reed has been a guest speaker here.
Oh, wow.
We heard
He
him
sang
sing.
to us.
Yeah, he sang for us.
Yeah, he's saying.
I gave him a couple of golf lessons while I was volunteering at the STEM Center.
Special young man.
Yes.
Any other questions?
My goodness.
Wow, I'm just tired of listening to